Fcr247, you're live in a mix. I'm your host, Twism White Peace, and today we've got an intellectual episode of some kind of magnitude. We don't know if it's going to be big, small, but we'll get into it, and we'll let you know, of course, along the way, who, what, when, where, and why in all things related to NFT Drop, LLC. And my guest today, Gils Laureiro, I'm going to mess it up, but I knew I was going to mess it up.
That's
Gils
okay.
Laureiro from, now, where are you from? I didn't get a chance to ask you that. Where are you from?
I'm from all over. I was actually born in Uruguay, South America.
Okay.
Migrated to Elizabeth, New Jersey, the majority of my life. And then back in 99, I moved up to northeastern Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
Running away from the snow.
So are you still right in Pennsylvania?
Yes. Well, I now live in Florida.
Oh, I was going to say, because
I still come to Pennsylvania. Family's still here, and stuff like that.
Okay, well, you're right around the corner. So just if you ever swing through, I'm right here in West Virginia currently. So
all right. I've been in West Virginia, many places. I like the state.
Yeah, Charleston to be exact. So I'm right around the corner from Pennsylvania. So
the attorney capital of the world.
Yeah. I'm learning, boy. I'm learning. So well, let's get into a little bit of that background. Now, you say you're from all over. Now, do you evidently consider Pennsylvania to be home per se, or?
Yes. I lived here in Pennsylvania for a good 21 years.
Okay.
Before I just recently, last May, I made the move to Florida after selling one of my companies here from New York and New Jersey.
Nice. Obviously, the Florida differences between Pennsylvania, you're not hating, you're not mad, obviously. I mean,
not at all. The weather is beautiful. It's beautiful, But I still like the mountains. I still like the hills. I still like the hillbillies. So I'm a Pennsylvania boy at heart, really, in a way.
That's great. All right. So where did you actually ground yourself in life along the ways, as far as, intellectually, schooling? Where did that all accomplish that? College, anything like that?
Well, yeah, I did a couple of years of college for computer science, which is something that I never did in my life. But it really all started when I was about 17 and a half. That's the first sales job I had in my life.
Okay.
I was a used car salesman.
Oh, nice.
And I lasted 2 months. It wasn't my gig, I'm not into lying to people. But I have to be honest with you. I did learn that sales is where all the money is.
Absolutely.
And it became a passion to me, But I did learn that it had to be something that I believe in. It has to be a product I support, I totally like, and I totally get, A used car thing, that was not my gig. I just cannot do it. I will never sell a car in my life. But, I was a National Guard recruiter for a while.
Oh, wow.
I'm a United States Army veteran, back from Desert Storm.
Nice.
I went in back in August 1990,
Okay.
From there, I served with the National Guard until 2002, January. I enjoyed it. It was my way of giving back.
Well, thank you for being a veteran and putting in those years of service. So I appreciate that. I mean, nobody really, says thank you. We just kind of expect it all the time. Oh, you're our security, you're our defense, you're supposed to be there. So congratulations for taking it seriously, for one, and for, putting your life on the line like that for other people. That's a big important thing.
Thank you. It was more of a thank you from me to this country that is so great and is having me here.
Yes.
So, nice. I always felt, what? You got to stand for what you believe. So, you got to put your money where your mouth is.
Boy, if that's not the truth.
That's the way I live, I
feel like I'm going bankrupt believing in something. Anyway, so we've put in a little bit of the years of military. We've got a little education. We're progressing through life. Where along the lines did you finally say, you know what, I want to focus this all into one aspect? I want a career, or I want to start a business, or where did that come along? How old were you, and what was the situation for that?
God, I laugh at this. because I used to drive my sister crazy. She's 6 years older than me.
Okay.
And I must have been about 12 years old. And we shared a bedroom at that time.
Okay. Okay.
In an apartment. And I will drive her crazy when we're going to bed at night, before sleeping, because I will be telling her, what I've learned and what I'm planning, and how to buy property, and why I want to have multi apartments, so I can rent them because that's fixed income. And then you can use Section 8, you can submit it with the government, it pays every third of the month, it's guaranteed. Oh, you have an idea. That was the age of 12. Okay. I had it all written down. I had a whole business plan. I was ready to go, man. I was like, we got to get this done, Yeah. But throughout life, then, I had many jobs, many positions. I started working at the age of 11 as the superintendent of my building, a 20 apartment building. And the owner used to help me, teach me how to do repairs, the sinks, the toilets, the plumbing, electric, all that happy stuff.
Gotcha.
I loved it because, I don't know, I guess since I was young, since I was born, I just love to learn. I'm like a sponge, I can't read novels, but I can read a manual.
Oh, I gotcha.
If that makes sense. That's me.
I completely understand. Yeah. No.
Tells you how to pull it apart, put it back together, what it does.
Like,
I'm all on it. I'm all on it. Romeo and Juliet, I gotta go. I got things. It's just my brain, I guess,
Yeah, I understand it. See, I'm vice versa. So you could hand me an engine with a step-by-step instruction, and I'd still mess it up.
I hear you, man. But so I went through that. I went through a lot of different experiences, a lot of different jobs. I guess the first is going to sound funny to people out there, but the first light bulb that really went up on my head, I must have been about 26, 27. Okay. And I read a book on how to start a business. It was a pocket, a book, put in your pocket, a small one. It wasn't that thick. I didn't get to finish the book. I just gotta tell you that. It wasn't a manual type thing. But within the first quarter of the book, it told me what I needed to know. It says you can start any business you want in this world. Look at the business. Pick the job in the business that does and touches everything. It could be a janitor, it could be the dishwasher, it doesn't matter. Someplace where you can learn everything that's going on in the business. Do that for 6 months, then go duplicate that system. Once I read up to that point, I was like, dude, I got you.
Copy and paste after that, right?
Hey, let's go pick the avenue, right? That's the way I looked at it.
Absolutely,
right? But before that, I always had this drive, like, look, when I was in the military, I loved it. I loved the military life. Okay. I'm a big patriot. I support all my brothers and sisters, but I couldn't take it full time. And the only reason why I couldn't take it full time is because my brain always said, you know what, there's a lot of money to be made in a year. If I wanted to live with a paycheck and this is it, and I'm going to work for a retirement, then best life in the world. Best life in the world, man.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately, it wasn't, you see. And and I guess it's due to my mother, to give her credit here, because she was the entrepreneur one of the family.
Okay.
And she always coached me to like, hey, listen, you got to make your money with your brain. You can't be doing it with your back.
Absolutely.
When you get older in life, you need to be able to still make your money and do your things just because your brain is good, can't worry about digging a hole or being physical, right? So it always got that in my head. And the other thing is, I have seen what my parents sacrifice to be able to have the ability to have my sister and myself here in this country.
Nice.
And to have the ability to be an American. And I'm going to be honest with you, in Uruguay, where I come from, is a tiny little country, for those that don't know, between Brazil and Argentina. We're about 3 million people. Gorgeous, gorgeous country. But, like other countries around the world, they're socialist. And when you're in a socialist country, you have very little ability once you're born into a family, what you're going to be able to do with your life. Now, you can be the smartest man in the world. You're just not going to have the avenues to be able to take this, right?
Absolutely.
You can have all the education you want, it's free. Right. But the money ain't there.
Right.
So I saw what my parents went through to be able to have my sister and me here and give us this opportunity. Okay. A, to become an American, B, to be a proud American, and C, to be a productive American. Okay.
Oh, nice. I like that. Well said. Well
And
said.
I have to be honest with you, I can't settle for a paycheck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always said, and I told many people in my life, if I'm going to settle for a paycheck, I might as well just stay in Uruguay.
Yeah.
What would be the difference? Why would I be taking an immigrant spot here in the United States of America, in a country that allows you to achieve the white picket fence dream that everybody has?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now it's up to me to pull up my boots and go do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
The best way possible.
Yeah.
And I always been in my life going from whatever venture to venture with that mentality.
Nice.
Is this what's going to help me get to the next level? I mean, I was a mortgage banker. I flipped pizzas. I sold real estate.
Whatever it took to get to that point.
I had 5 jobs at the same time. I worked 7 days a week, 18 hours, 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
I used to go and sell medical equipment during the day and do tiling floors at night, for my own mental type of thing, you know what I mean? Stop me thinking.
Yeah.
But I got myself involved in a lot of different things, and I started learning different parts of business, different avenues, how everything works. So between financial to medical to just regular construction and regular life, I have been able to learn a lot. I had a lot of businesses, ran a lot of businesses. I sold a lot of businesses, The last business we sold, this medical imaging business, we sold for $16 million.
Nice. Congratulations.
Last June. Thank you. So once I got done with that one, that had over 50 employees, I was like, you know what? I've been locked down for 10 years based on my business and based on, growing your child, as you call it, right?
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I want to get out of the cold weather. I want to get out of the snow.
Gotcha.
I want to go. I'm going to go give Florida a try.
Yeah.
I'm up in the Daytona area. I love it. Very low humidity, if there is any. 86, 88 every day and sunny. I love it. But I still love coming back here, though, to Pennsylvania and visit the hills and see the trees and the deer and everything else. I mean, I still love that.
Wow. Okay. So well, first of all, that is a very great answer to a question. I love how you ran us through everything now. So, okay. So just to kind of catch up here, you've had all these different jobs, which allowed you to apply different things that you've learned from each job into, achieving what you wanted or what you called the bigger purpose.
Yes.
So along the ways, you've hired and fired, you've sold and bought, you've worked and played. Now, of any of these things, is there any one that you'd say, wow, that was my favorite, or, I wish I had never given that up, or anything that you might say at this moment that you felt had a bigger impact and left a more meaningful memory in your life than any other one?
Well, that is a great question. I mean, I love all of them. I love the failures and I love the winnings.
Absolutely.
Because you can't win without fail.
Absolutely.
People don't understand, the majority of my life, people always call me a dreamer, Yeah, okay. Once I made that first $1 million, now
I'm not a dreamer anymore.
You're the man. Man, holy shit, I didn't know. You're the man. And look, man, I said, it's funny because, once the Wright brothers finally took flight, holy cow, they were genius.
Yeah, man.
I said, now that I succeed, right, now that I succeed, those so-called friends, oh, wow, man, really?
Great. That's great.
I'm the same Joe that was here last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing changed except my bank account, But it's just how people preserve or look at people out there in life is the way, that I look at it. And I think there's value in everything. I think there's experience in everything.
Good.
And one thing I learned in the military is there's no such thing as a bad soldier, it's a misutilized soldier.
Oh,
so
nice.
Whenever you have employees or whenever you're working in a business how to utilize people correctly. They don't know it a lot of times. Like I had a lot of people say, no, I want to be sales. I'm like,
you're not good for that position.
Yeah, I'm like, no, dude, you're a goat. You're the type of person I need to give a project and just walk away because you'll get it done.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you don't need management, but you're not that people person that you think you are, or vice versa. So you do have to step back and look at people's qualities and see how you can best utilize those qualities for the greater good of the project that you're doing, right?
Right, absolutely.
Is and I've done that a lot. That the last business I just finished selling last year, I really enjoyed it. It was for OBGYN, women's health. So the majority of all my employees were women, were females. And, if you're running, managing, and, on top of 50 different women, a lot of people tell you, wow, that's a headache. You know what? I didn't have any real headaches. Over 10 years, I fired 3 people.
Oh, wow.
Okay. My company is the way I put it together and the way I do things. I like it to be hands-free.
Okay.
I don't believe on whip cracking. I don't believe in managers on top of somebody. Look, you either understand or mature enough and you have it or not. And if you don't, you don't, But I don't believe on people abusing people. I don't believe on one's being smarter than another one. This is a team. Even me as a boss or even an owner, I walk into a meeting. I ain't walking into a meeting with the right answer. I want to walk away with it. It doesn't matter who got it. It doesn't matter who made the mistake.
Just as
I
long
do
as
care about the mistake, but I care more about the solution. When other places they heart more on where the problem was and the person. And no, you know what? You'll get back to that. Because then you look at the problem, you'll say, okay, is it because the person doesn't have the ability? Is it because it's too much for them? Is it because something's going on in their lives? I mean, what is it? You got to make a judgment. And you have a judgment call to make. Because at the end of the day, your business is your baby,
Absolutely.
And you want the best for it. And you're going to laugh, but every time I hire somebody, they used to think I was crazy because my interview is 5 minutes, Hey, how you doing? Great to meet you. I saw your resume. That's great. I'm doing all this body language as a second. I'm going to tell you what you have for dinner yesterday at the end of those 5 minutes, just because of how you're standing, how you're moving, how you're talking, how you're dressed, how your hair is, where your eyes are when you're talking to me. How attentive are you? Are you fakely attentive? Are you just way too laid back? Many things. And I'm a good judge of character, I guess, because I pay attention. But
say you've made it this far, obviously. So
right. I used to tell my employees all the time, it's quite simple. Look, I don't want you to be offended, but I need a job. Okay. I'm assuming you need a job because you're here too.
Absolutely.
And they'll go, yes. I said, okay, so now I hope you're mature enough to understand what a good job is.
Right.
I said, you've been at the hospitals. You've been with the whip crackers. You've been underappreciated. You've been in the dark and under poop, as we call it, right? Like a mushroom. Listen, my friend, the way I work is different because we had different locations among physicians' offices. So what I did is I created pride in them. This is your office.
You are responsible. Now this is something you can be proud of.
This is you. Patients are going to come to see you. I don't want the walls empty. I want you to make it homey. Don't make it tacky. Make it welcoming. Let people come in and know you have a personality.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
And let me tell you, there's not one employee that I have had that hasn't, their lives have changed 100%. And they're still with the company now. And they hated the fact that I've, got bought out last year is what I did. And, I saw that I made a difference in a lot of people's lives. So, which my other businesses I did, but I didn't see it firsthand.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You deal with them for a week, 2 weeks. All right, boom, bam. You hear about them a year later. You're like, oh, that's great. I'm happy for them. But when somebody's working for you and your
side by side,
constantly texting you to see how you're doing.
Yeah.
All the holidays, listen, I got you a Christmas present. I want to get it to you.
Yeah, man.
God forbid if you're out there in the field and you start saying something bad about the company or me, they'll scratch your eyes out, man. And I didn't do any. I just treated them like a human being. Like I wanted to be treated when I was an employee, Allow me to do what I know how to do. And these people are professionals. Let them do it. And I gave them respect. And you know what, when they call because their kids are sick from school and this and that, and, the husband is out working, but her job, even though she makes twice as much, is not as important because she's the female in the relationship. Hey, it's crazy. I seen it every day. But you know what? Instead of beating on them, I understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll let you stay home. I'm still going to pay you for the day,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, because you got bills to pay. That's what you're coming to work for.
And then that way you come back and you're happy to come back. You're happy to be working. You want to put in more effort.
People put in more effort.
Yeah.
And I'm successful because of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And every year on our holiday party that I used to throw them in January, it was much cheaper to do it. But I used to do, I mean, you know, it's still a business.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Go ahead.
But I'm going to be honest with you. My competitors gave their employees a pizza dinner. I used to spend 10 grand on a fabulous gala in Staten Island, New York. Okay. And I used to have bands, DJs, dancers, giveaway raffle baskets. I used to have casino night. I used to bring comedians in. I used to make them dress to the 10s, to the 9s. Like, you're going to like the best party ever. And when they used to tell me about the kids, I used to tell them, hold on a second. There's a reason why I'm giving you a free hotel room at the Hill where we're having the party. I don't want you to drive home first. And second of all, you telling me you cannot get babysitters for one night so you can spend some time with your husband, a night out? You deserve it.
Pay
you know,
for it.
And I used to tell them all the time in the parties, like, listen, this is not for me. This is not about me.
Yeah.
This is me saying thank you to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys accomplished this. This is your night.
Yeah.
So I used to make sure everybody walked away with a gift basket, you know, and stuff like that. And they loved it. And the simple things, the best thing I've done.
That's important, though. The simple things. I like.
I'll tell you the best thing I've done in business. The cheapest benefit my company ever had. There is not one birthday that you will not receive a bouquet of flowers from the company.
Wow. That's very cool.
They used to call me if it was date delivery that day. Do you forget about me? You know, my husband will buy me flowers, but I can always count on your flowers, Gil. What, are you mad at me? What did I do? And I used to laugh. I'm like, listen, no, hon, no, give it a chance. They're coming.
They'll be there. They'll be there.
They'll be there. You know, then 5:30, I'll get the text. Oh, you're the best. Beautiful. You know,
that's great.
But that, you know what? That was the best benefit. The best benefit in the company was that they loved it. God forbid if I forgot or something. You know, I had to tap dance sometimes, but it's you know.
Oh, okay. Wow. God, I love it. You're full of stories. You're full of personality. I love it. Good job. Okay. So let's move on a little bit here. Let's progress to modern day now. So you've gotten rid of the business and you're moving on to the next phase. And we'll call this next phase. What are we going to call this? Are we calling this learning? Are we calling this playing? Are we calling this more working? What phase is this for you?
Let's see. I'm the type of person that's always going to do something.
Okay.
I'm never going to not be working. My friends always joke with me because they're like, Gil, you got to get some cars, man. You know, look at my Camaro, look at this, look at that. And I'm like, if you know me, I don't care what it is. A car is a car. It could be a Bentley or it could be a beat down Ford. You want to know something? It's a car, and I'm going to drive it like a car. My friends, like, you know, I'm like, I don't have time to be buffing it, cleaning it, watching the tires. You know what my hobby is? My hobby is making money.
Yeah, nice. I mean,
I love
any hobby to have.
To me, it's a game.
Yeah.
Through the different courses of my life, I have learned it is all a game.
Yeah.
Okay. And you got to step back and you got to look at it. Okay. Because you're playing a system here. There's a way to do business because there's a system to do business that's been established for centuries.
Yeah.
Okay. So we keep tweaking it and moving it. Like now, for example, crypto is another part of a tweak and evolution. Okay. But it's the same game.
Same concept. Yeah.
Let it change because we haven't changed.
Exactly.
And nothing is perfect because we're not perfect. And guess what, buddy? We're all dying, right? So nothing is forever. First thing in business, nothing is forever. Don't cry over it. Do it. Build it. Grow it. Make it blossom. Just like when the kids go into the world, my friend.
That's exactly.
Nothing is forever. Okay? Some of them, they keep you employed on the side in case they have questions. Other ones just run away from home.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I got a mix of each. I've got a mix of each, so no worries, man. I understand.
Okay,
that.
so
Yeah, I got six kids. I got 6 kids all together, man. So it's
Ooh,
I've got.
you're going to be working a lot harder than me. I'll tell you what. I want that one, but yeah.
Yes,
But
yes, I have to work a lot harder. That's
right. So that is a great question, because I've got to tell you, this might make you laugh. I hope it does. I like to bring joy, but you know,
if you're doing that.
I've been working hard my whole life.
Okay.
I have never been late. I have beaten the good old boys club in the military and outside the military. And I have succeeded in my life all the time in whatever I wanted to put myself to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Even on the failures, I still win, guys, because I learned from it. And hard work. You know, when they come against me, you better bring a lunch, man. Because I work 7 days a week, as long as I have to work.
Yeah, right.
I don't have football passion. I don't have basketball passion. I have passion of getting done what needs to get done and making that money the right way.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? Like I mimic a lot of old benefits, old company benefits, old company mentalities back from the 50s, 40s, 60s, right? We have lost that now.
Yeah, yeah.
So now when you look at companies, people go to work in a company as a zombie. It's just, you got to do it.
Yeah.
I got to pay the bills.
I have to do. Yep, exactly. Yep.
I've been there. I've done that for many years of my life. Well, guess what? The moment I stopped and I started working smarter and I started saying, you know what? This is where I want to be. And I'm going to tell you a good one to follow. This is where I want to be. And I'm not going to follow the money like everybody does. That's the trap.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Pick your passion. Pick what type of life you want to have. And the money is a side effect of your actions.
Absolutely.
Okay. As an entrepreneur, I've always been told, oh, a W-2 employment is secure. Really? Don't go to work for a week. Let's see how secure that is, buddy. You'll be on the unemployment line. Oh, wait a second.
Quick like in a hurry.
Right, but wait a second. As an entrepreneur, I don't have an unemployment line. Oh, shit. I got to get up and I better go to work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because not only that I'm not going to get paid, there ain't no benefit that's going to say, oh, here's some money for you to get by.
You got it.
I was like, you're killing me. Man, you know, I got to go to work.
I got to interject here real quick.
Yeah.
Man. I got to interject. I was living in Canada when the COVID pandemic hit, and they were giving out stimulus checks and government.
I never got one. Yes.
So I never got one. Okay. Because for 2 reasons. One, I own my own businesses. So I can't show that I was affected by COVID because my businesses can operate regardless of whether the pandemic's going on or not. Number 2, they wouldn't allow me to claim because I make, according to them, sufficient enough money to, which I have 6 children and a wife. I don't understand what sufficient enough money is because I ain't seen that yet, bro. I don't know. Is that a number? Because I'm still looking at, I'm still trying to figure that one out.
that is a good one, man. Yeah. That's a 6 multiplier there,
yeah,
my
but
friend.
the whole point being is that when you own your own business, you don't get the extra handouts, you don't get the free rides, you don't get it unless you show up and put in that effort to establish that connection or to network with the right person or to just grind it out all day long. Sometimes you just literally gotta just grind and grind and grind. And I love the way you speak about, you know, focusing on the passion and not the profit. Because everything I do is out of passion. I do it only for the passion. I do not believe in chasing money. I used to chase money in my previous lifestyle, and that's what got me shot at. That's what got me put in jail and prison. And that's what got a lot of bad things happen to me and my family. So I learned through the course of my life to focus on what at that moment is going to provide the most happiness and the most well-being for everybody, and not just, okay, I can go make $10, let's go make $10, and then that took 2 hours when I could have made $30 if I had just focused what my mind was doing instead of chasing, right? So I really like your mentality. You have an amazing mentality. So congratulations on that, man.
Thank you. And I see you understand that entrepreneurship is for mature people.
Yeah.
Because if you don't understand that you got to work no matter what you do in this life, okay. And if you can't understand that working for yourself, doing what's passionate to you.
Yeah. Well, here's an example.
Some people don't get it. That's all.
I just left my wife and 6 children. I left them in Canada and I came back to the States because in order for me to progress any further as any of the businesses that I am, or for me to progress further as a business owner, I had to walk away from one situation and create and strengthen and build a different situation.
You have to.
It's painful. It hurts. I miss them. I miss seeing them, but I can't do anything more there with them. And if I'm doing this for what I say I'm doing this for, which is to give my family the benefits in the life that we've never had and to create opportunities for them that they would never be able to achieve possible, then that sometimes you have to make those hard decisions. Sometimes you have to give up that comfortability. Sometimes you have to venture into the unknown in order to find your way.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm smiling not because I'm laughing at you.
No,
I got to tell you, I'm smiling because you are perfectly describing the price of success that people don't ever want to face or admit. I had my own success price in my life. There's a lot of things in my daughter's life that I was not there. A lot of games that didn't show up. A lot of things that I don't know anything about, and I depended, on my ex-wife to be able to help me and to be there. But you know what? As a person, and as a parent, and as a father, I pay dearly for my success. But you see, everybody wants to have success, but they don't want to curb their lives. I couldn't be home to go watch football at a certain time or baseball. I got to go to work. My kid needs to eat. The bills need to get paid, and just like you described, which, listen, I talk to a lot of people, and you're one in a long time that I have heard describe the pain the way you're supposed to be. I explain it to people and they look at me like I got 2 heads. And I'm like, when you try to be successful, you're going to understand what I mean.
Yeah, man.
You're going to understand what hunger pains are. You're going to understand where I cannot be there. And yes, I'm the bad guy, even though you're not.
Even though
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
You're going to take the beating and say, hopefully, when you're mature enough, you'll understand why I did this.
Exactly.
And understand that it's not a selfish personal thing. I needed to sacrifice this to be able to get there. So now you have security.
When I come back and I come back bearing all these gifts and all these wonders and all these marvels, then you'll be able to say, okay, I understand. You know what I mean?
And look, some people don't, but listen, I understand. And hey, listen, man, I support you on that, man. That's the entrepreneurship.
That's why I said I respect your mentality. I really like the way, I like how you're focused on one goal. And even if you have to walk many paths to get to that goal, you still know what that goal is. A lot of people, as they're walking these paths, they forget what the goal is. And especially once they start becoming successful, they get lost in all the side stuff that goes on with it. And they never remember, I am doing this for this reason. You understand? So,
right.
Anyways, let's move on to NFT.
Definitely.
LLC, man. Obviously, this is a passion for you now. So,
well, it is, because you see, once I finished those other ones, I started looking into all right, I want to get in. I'm going to take a little time off, which I did. And I said, as I was thinking by the pool, I'm like, I want to go into something less physical.
Okay.
Someplace to where I don't have to be leasing space. I don't have to be buying equipment. I don't have to be at a certain place at a certain time. You know what I mean? I want something more flexible. Now, throughout my whole life, I've been learning about stocks, taking courses and classes and educating myself. And I always thought about wow, that's like the perfect business. You can make your money. You have no inventory. You have no employees. You got no customers to listen to. I'm like, this is like anywhere in the world. I love it. Right. Never got to it because I always went to how we all do. Right. we'll go to what comes natural to us. So if it's physical, we can touch it and we can do this, we gravitate to that more, right? So this time I said, you know what? I got to look for stuff. So my friend Rod Thompson in California, he's our CTO. Now he has extensive experience as far as, programming and everything else.
Oh, wow.
From the Navy to, regular stuff here in his life.
Okay.
Very extensive. And we were talking about, crypto and stuff. He was starting to show me stuff and all of that. And he does a lot of computer work for me. And then, and I happened to reconnect with Staci Toy, which that's another story there. I mean, it just happens that I'm a Freemason. Okay. And I've been in the lodge. I was in the lodge and still are with the lodge with her father.
Okay.
For like 20 years.
Oh,
so
wow.
I actually know Staci when she was in high school. Okay, we used to sell burgers together out of the stand, Nice. So then she went on her ventures and on her part of life, and I went on mine and stuff like that. And it's just funny, like a year ago, we happened to run into each other and, we started talking and BS. And I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm working with my girlfriend with CBD. I'm like, really? I have a CBD farm out of Kentucky,
Oh, nice.
I have Nanosol Pro. That's my brand. We do pictures, we do everything, So we started talking and then she started talking to me about NFTs. I was like, well, that's interesting. What is NFTs? So then when I I would leave and I would go home, I will be talking to my friend Rod that's in California. So when it's 11 o'clock here and I'm just hanging out, I call him up because it's early over there. So I'm like, yo, Rod, what is this NFT stuff? Like, talk to me about that. So he starts educating me on that, and then Staci starts ordering books. That's how she is. And she likes gifting people books,
Yeah.
So I started looking up on that and, in our conversations, and I was like, wait a second, this is something here, and then I started looking into the metaverse and I was like, oh, wait a second, and then as I'm doing research, I see what Meta now, Facebook, AKA is investing how much money? Walmart.
This is serious now.
How much?
To get serious now. Yeah.
I started talking to friends of mine, younger friends of mine, and they're like, oh no. I'm like, whoa, this don't look like a fad, buddy.
No, it's not.
Everything I see here is telling me
something's coming. There's a bigger.
This is the time, man. Jump on board.
Absolutely.
This trend is going to get bigger than what people are thinking.
Oh, much so.
And if you think of like, as we're going through COVID, that was a reassurance because now in COVID, everybody goes Zoom. Well, my friend, you don't have to go Zoom if you have a virtual office.
Absolutely.
And your clients are virtual too.
Absolutely.
Right. So to me, this is something this is the future here. Might not take over everything, but it's going to take over a big part of business that a lot of people right now are not ready to deal with. Older business guys are not ready to deal with or learn about. Okay.
I know, but in 10 years, the phasing out of old philosophies with new philosophies is going to be more prevalent than it is now. I understand that maybe it doesn't seem like these older guys are wanting to learn or possibly wanting to learn, but in just the few worlds that I live in, I've had 50, 60, 65-year-olds, business owners come to me and say, look, I know you know what this is. Please educate me. Please give me a synopsis of what this is, because, I understand that XYZ won't be able to keep going if I don't make ABC changes, right? So
you got it.
And I have my foot tentatively in the door in different aspects, whether it's investment, whether it's the metaverse, whether it's NFTs, I'm tentatively branching out myself. You have to, exactly. You have to.
Diversity, man.
Even taking crypto payments now, you have to allow for the opportunity for crypto payments, or you're neglecting and shutting the door on a wide range of people who would actually one-click button buy your stuff. And to me, that's an opportunity too big to pass up. So,
well, I'm going to tell you a tiny little short story, okay, just to bring it home to some people out there of your listeners. All right. So when I was attending college there for computer science, My second part was art, which was desktop publishing.
Okay.
Become an illustrator. Okay. Because that was a passion of mine my whole life, drawings, artistic and stuff.
Nice.
So this is the time when the www online internet came out.
Okay.
All right. And there was a war going on at that moment.
Yeah.
And the war that was going on that industry at that moment was your old classic illustrators, your Marvel, DC comic guys, big names that were not converting over.
Yeah.
Because they were too old. They only liked it, right, with pencil, pen, ink, right?
Yeah.
Well, friends of mine that were in the business for years that were having problems getting work because obviously the other famous guys were getting it all the time.
Yeah.
Now they pick up Cork and Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator and all that. Now they started doing their work on that. So now the market opened up for them.
Yeah.
So like one of my friends, for example, just retired about 3 years ago. And since that happened in the market, he has been overwhelmingly busy for all these years.
I bet. Oh, absolutely.
So look at what's going on now with the metaverse. Look at what's going on now with crypto.
Yeah.
It's the same thing in a different day.
Yeah.
It's going to take the business people that cannot convert themselves over, that right now manipulate or monopoly a lot of parts of business throughout the world, to where the new guys that do understand are going to be able to pick up the ball and have new talent out there.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I look at it as the purging of the systems. Is how I look at it in business. Okay, because that happens. If you don't purge a business, it's gonna die.
Yeah,
it's just that simple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah. So yeah, no, and that's where between Staci's influence and Rod's influence, I try putting them together because I'm like, you know what, you guys speak this language. Why don't you guys work together? Try to bounce work off each other. But I don't know. It didn't work that well somehow. I end up being the glue of things. So, I was like, all right, you know what? And they're like, well, I'm like, let's do a business together. I want to get into this. Come on.
Might as well just go ahead. Yeah. Absolutely.
I said, look, I'll run the business. I'm the numbers guy. Yeah. You do your marketing and stuff. I said, you do your technical stuff.
Yeah.
I said, I looked at other businesses out there in the market, and you know what? Is tech guy, programmer, tech guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, they don't have the experiences we have.
Yeah.
They don't have the mentality in business that we have. They don't have, the avenues we have.
Yeah.
Because between the three of us, we have all total different avenues in the market.
Yeah.
I said, look, if we do this right, okay, we're definitely going to take a piece out of this market.
Yeah.
I said, because I always, I like to promise very little, and I like to over deliver every time. Okay.
Absolutely.
And
well said.
And they were like, I was actually shocked, really. They were like, yeah, Gil, let's do it. I was like, oh shit, really? All right. Let me lock you guys in. Hold on a second.
That's great. Okay. All right.
But they're great. So since then, listen, we got, Chris the Glove Taylor.
Yeah.
Right?
I just got done meeting with him, but he is. And what's so funny about him is that I knew who he was when I was a kid. Because I mean, my number one, yes. my number one forte is I'm a hip hop rapper. I'm an entertainer. So
all right.
I grew up on rap music as long as I can remember, and it was actually West Coast rap, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, things like that, Eazy-E, so on and so forth. So it was one of those things where it's like, man, I've known your work, I've known your sound and who you are since like back in the day, right? So that he was a really cool guy to meet. And then to follow it up with you, man, like the intellect that we've had back, I don't get a chance to actually speak knowledge with people, right?
Okay.
Like it's fun to actually intellectually talk with people because, well, for one, I told you I have a wife and 6 kids, so that really kind of keeps me at the doors and the elbows. Yes. And but then along with that, I'm also a solo business owner, so a lot of the stuff I do is either emails or things like that, so there's never actual conversation, right? So I really appreciate the intellectual conversation. I feel like you guys have something brewing over there. You do. You have something brewing over there that is new age, for one, which new age is always great, right? Because it gives you a fresh take on things.
Right.
But new age that is backed with, like you said, all these different avenues, all these different collective outlets and experiences that old style bolster this new age idea. So when you have the best of both worlds coming together like that, you've got something really grand there. And like I said, being an artist or a hip hop artist, the NFTs are a future of music, whether anybody can understand that or not. It is the future of music.
Well, let me tell you this. I love you saying that, but I'm big on this. It ain't just music. It's not just a drawing. It's not just art. Because you see, that's how you see it.
Yeah.
Because everybody, every time we go, we speak and we're teaching, and they're like, "What's an NFT?"
Yeah.
To me, as a business guy, I'm an investor.
Everything.
An NFT to me, don't laugh at me, it's a coupon.
I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to laugh.
Because look,
explain this one. Explain this one.
With an NFT, I can sell you anything. The shirt you got on, the headphones you're wearing, the backdrop you have. Okay.
I get it. I get it.
I can sell you the song you want, the beat you want.
I get it.
The car you want, the sneakers you want.
The VIP meeting,
anything.
The interview,
tickets,
whatever.
dinners,
wow.
takeout.
That is well said. That is a coupon. I like that. I like that.
You're never gonna, and that's why I tell them an NFT is not gonna die. It's just going to evolve into better ways on everybody's everyday life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and every time you ask people, like, it's funny, you said you went to music because you're in music. The average answer I get is art is a drawing. It's like, okay, it could be a drawing.
Well, it could be, yeah. To me, it was music because that's the virtual world I live in.
Of course, so, of course.
I've created my virtual world as being a music studio with access to different entertainment forms, right? So
right. No, and I'm with you, and that's why I brought that up, because to me, I look at it from a different window than you do.
You're the pens, right? The paper,
hey, listen, I'm looking at my friends, and I'm like, I'll put the '68 Camaro on an NFT, and if you pay $75,000, you get the Camaro with it. You know.
Hey, whatever, it is
people.
what it is, right?
That's right.
It is what it is, man. Oh, I love
it.
That's
right. You got to make lemonades, man. I mean.
All right, so we've got just a couple minutes left, man. Go ahead and wrap this up. I know it's Easter. I know you want to get back to your thing and everything, but what's your future outlook? If you could say, guys, I'm getting ready to do this, but I want you to pay attention real closely because.
Well, look, we're doing a lot. There's a lot of stuff we have. I know you've spoken with Chris. You haven't spoken with Rusty Gilligan yet. He's a huge illustrator, and he has a phenomenal life and background.
Absolutely. I've set that one up for sure.
Oh, definitely. I'm telling you, he was also a professional wrestler, and Little House on the Prairie. I mean, he's been an illustrator for a lot of the comics and everything else in '78. But anyway, we're doing a huge collection with him. So we're actually going to be dropping next week. Is antique magazine covers from the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. These are projects that he has worked with and reproduced, that he actually owns, and we're going to be putting out a whole 30 collection on them.
Wow.
They're beautiful, and he's going to be doing a drop every month with different collections of stuff. I mean, it's not just like one category, it's many. Again, Chris the Glove, we have quite a few projects with him coming out. So he's going to be the same. He's going to be dropping one thing, and then there's going to be a whole bunch that I can really not get into it, but big stuff coming out.
Absolutely.
We have trading cards coming out. We have, the amount of
there's just a lot on the plate.
I have to tell you, a lot of people in the music industry, that we have signed up, and we're coming out with some great stuff. So stay tuned to NFT Drop, because we're not sleeping, guys. We're started.
I've got it locked in. Once Jimmy Starr from World Star PR, once he actually turned me on, and like I said, it was one thing after another. I was kind of introduced to NF Drop LLC through another publication. I think it was called the Spotted Cat magazine.
Yep.
And so once I learned about you guys through there, I started talking to Jimmy about you guys. And then, like I said, once I found out that Chris was a part, I was like, oh my gosh. And then after that, it was like, well, okay, let me find out more. And so now I'm just kind of progressing down the line because it's an interesting concept. It's an interesting structure that you've got going on there. And that's what really impresses me because like you said, you like manuals and things. Well, I see things in like chess. I see it as like a chessboard, chess moves and things like that. I see you guys in easily 3 to 5 moves being a dominant factor in not only NFT, but the entire, what we'll call metaverse, because I believe that with your knowledge and your expansive outlook on life, that you're going to branch out into a lot more. Like you said, you're going to be selling cars and you'll become that used car salesman you never thought you could be. You know what I mean?
It's I cannot say much, but it's all being worked on. Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Gil, thank you so much for your time today, brother. I really appreciate it. And of course, I look forward to all the things that you're going to be diving into and staying locked in with you. Please, let's connect on social media. That way I can get a firsthand knowledge of everything.
Definitely.
Drop down, and have a wonderful Easter, my friend. Have a wonderful
friend.
Easter.
You do the same. Okay, go have fun with your family. I know you're away, but do it on Zoom or something.
I'll do what I can. Facebook Messenger comes in handy sometimes.
Yeah, listen, love them as much as you can now while you're paying that price, my friend.
Absolutely, brother.
It'll make you feel better later,
Absolutely.
But it was a pleasure speaking with you anytime.
And like I said, connect with me, and if you ever need anything or if there's anything I can ever help you with, by all means.
The same with you.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.